So before we can even start doing the linear programming stuff, we need to cover some basics on graphs. And when I say basics, I really mean basics. So I've got two equations here that are a straightforward vertical and horizontal line. Of course, we're going to be talking less than or equal to, but realistically, to plot these, you just ignore the less than or equal to, whatever, and just plot it as an equal to, and then work out which side you're going to shade, which we're going to talk about in the next video. So I've got a y equals graph, and a y equals 3 graph would be a horizontal line. Okay, so that means I've got a straight line that is going to go through 3. A little bit off, but you know, good enough. And I've got x equals 5, where if y equals is a horizontal line, then x equals must be a vertical line. So that's just a line that goes through 5. So I'm going to draw my vertical line. Now I'm just going to colour code those so that I know which one's which, because when I'm doing this later on when you're solving these problems, it's really handy having a colour coding system. Okay, and also it means that when we're doing it later on, we can identify which equations we're trying to solve simultaneously. Now, I've already highlighted my next equation. My next equation is y equals 3x minus 1. So that's a y equals mx plus c graph. Now I'm going to highlight, I'm going to circle the minus 1. The minus 1 is my c. And my c is the point where it crosses the y-axis. So my y equals 3x minus 1 graph is going to cross the y-axis at minus 1. No high-powered maths done so far, just looking by inspection. The next number I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the gradient, the m part. Now the gradient is you rise over run. So it's saying that my gradient is 3. So that means for every 1 square I go across, I'm going to go up 3 squares. Now if my gradient was negative, I'd be going down for every 1 square I go across. So straight away, I've managed to plot 3 points, and therefore I can draw that straight line going through those 3 points and highlight which one it is. Now, you might not choose to highlight when you do this properly. You might choose to use numbers and number your equations. Any way so you can identify which equation's which will be great. Right, so my last bit. This is the hardest one. And I've got about a minute and a half to explain it, so we should be sweet. What I do is I pick a number for one of my variables. So I'm going to pick x equals 0. I'm now going to solve for the other part. But 3 times 0 is 0, so I am left with 4y equals 12. And if 4y equals 12, y equals 3. So straight away, by doing that, I know my graph goes through 0, 3, because that's x is 0 and y is 3. I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time I'm going to go y equals 0. So 3x equals 12. So x equals 4. So now I've got the coordinate 4. So I can join those up with a straight line. Oops, undo that. Let me join those up with a straight line. And that is my graph. So those straight line graphs, really crucial for you to be able to do it. This last technique, the one where it's not like that, is really handy for you to know. And the next video is going to look about shading. Good luck.